Perspective of the Nile Basin, I would like to ask you some questions about the food and nutrition security at basin level,
Mhm.
basin-wide level. So now there is concern about the growing demography in the Nile Basin. This can be seen as a challenge or a threat or also an opportunity for the Nile Basin. And also there's issue of hunger and at the same time food wastage along the value chain.
Mhm.
So what is your perspective in this?
Actually, the demography, personally, I don't see as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of possibilities to overcome the challenges with regard to demography. Number one is how to utilize the resources that we have. If we simply increase the productivity of the basin, the demography, the issue is not a challenge. This is number one. Number two is we have to uh, start proper utilization of our resources. For example, water. Every farmer and every pastoralist in the basin can harvest rainwater during the rainy season and can use during the dry season. One of the problems that we have in the basin is we are poor in utilization of the water resources. With regard to big infrastructure to compact food security is to construct dams for large scale, medium, and small scale irrigations. If we do this, demography is not a problem. It is an opportunity. We can increase market. You can increase labor force. There is a way to tackle this problem. Uh, this is the way how I look at it to the demography issues. With regard to the utilization of the resources in the basin, cooperation is must. Our cooperation is a loose cooperation. We have to strengthen this cooperation. Through cooperation, we can do a lot of things. The other the very important thing is we have to create a very strong institutions. As you know, some countries they have already signed CFA.
Yes.
Two countries, Ethiopia and Rwanda, already ratified, and some other countries also expected to ratify CFA. After the ratification of the CFA, we will have a commission to tackle the challenges of the basin.
That
This
will
time,
be the Nile Basin Commission.
yeah, the Nile Basin Commission will challenge the difficulties in the basin. Now, in the basin, there are a lot of conflicts, there are a lot of losses, there are a lot of watershed management. The basin needs an institution which can manage these all things.
Okay, thank you. On the environmental aspect in concern of the waste, the urban waste, either solid waste or liquid waste, and also the industrial waste, we notice that it is not well managed. It's in most of the basin countries, and the urban waste is dumped outside of the towns or maybe along the tributaries, and with the first rains, it goes inside, and that is maybe be a hazard for the water quality in the basin. So how do you see this as a challenge and
So
the
we,
environmental aspects and hazards of
all
that?
projects must be environmentally friendly.
Mm-hmm.
If the projects do not be environmentally and socially friendly, there is no way to start the construction of the projects. After all, we are working to benefit our society and to keep our environment very healthy. These days, wastes are a source of energy, so In my country, we have a project is waste to energy project. Through this project, we are converting the waste to energy. So other African countries also have to start waste to energy the development. In this case, they can easily manage their waste.
Okay, on the issue also of the resource management, the common resource management, the Nile Basin is focusing on the water, but also we have problem with the land. So the land and the water constitute the ecological foundation for all. So in this perspective, there are some countries are calling large-scale investment, land acquisition. Some some people denote it as land grabbing, some denote it as water grabbing. In Ethiopia, the case also, Ethiopia there is heavy investments in that aspect. So, do you see this as an opportunity for growth for Ethiopia, or you see it is as a challenge, especially for the small scale farmers and family farmers?
First of all, there is no land grabbing in Ethiopia. We are doing appropriate investment. What we are doing is to benefit our society. If something that do not benefit our society, that we don't do. After all, what we do is to benefit our community. With regard to large investments, it is rules and the procedures. We study environment and the social impact assessment. Through this study, we accordingly implement any impact. Of course, any impact has its own mitigation that we always do, and we continue doing the investments from small to be large. So the the problem is not the size of the investment. If even if there is a case in somewhere, the problem is the way how to manage the investment. In Ethiopia, there is a proper policy and good the investment management. Because of this, the people are benefiting out of the investment. With regard to the basin as a whole, a lot of initiatives and a lot of activities have been already started. Through this initiative, I think there will be a progress. For example, in Ethiopia, with regard to land use administration and soil and water conservation, we have already started community mobilization, and we achieved very dramatic outcomes. So we will continue in such a way and benefit our community.
Okay, last question on the infrastructures. Yeah, we see that the Great Renaissance Dam project will bring a significant change for the Ethiopian agriculture, Ethiopian power supply, and at the same time, it is going to give opportunities of employment for the people and development and growth for that. But other riparian countries are seeing it the way they want to see it. Do you think that the fear also they want to put some issues on the environmental or ecological impact of this dam, which will be a huge dam and will generate 6,000 megawatt. So, what is your perspective in this? And do you encourage other countries also to erect dams like South Sudan, which has no dams has no sufficient energy supply and so on?
We construct Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam to generate electricity. This dam is not for irrigation in Ethiopia. It may be important for irrigation in Sudan. Environmentally and socially, this dam is designed to acceptable world class farmers standard. So we don't have any fear with regard to that. With regard to downstream countries, we believe the dam will benefit Sudan and Egypt. Sudan already understood this dam will benefit their economy and their populations. We are insisting the Egyptians to understand the benefit of the GERD that is going to give them. So with regard to your countries, of course, if they have sufficient study and if they need to construct a dam for their power generation and irrigation, they are welcome because they have to develop their resources.
Yes.
So we always encourage and appreciate any country to just develop the irrigation and hydropower to overcome their difficulties. The South Sudan are welcome to do their own development.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
All
Minister.
right,
Thank
all right.
you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, please to interview
All
you.
right, okay.